Hi friends, I'm alive, just lacking motivation to post. Also, I've been sitting on this video for a little too long. Here it is. It's gonna be a very detailed retelling of my trip. Yeah, and I'm just gonna read it to you because there's just so much going on. So Anthony Bourdain once said, "Travel is not a reward for the working, it's education for the living." I said this before and I'll say it again. What a privilege it is to travel. As much as it feels like a reward right now, given everything happening at home and around the world, I have once again been reminded of the importance of travel. Me and my friends planned this trip last year thinking things would get better. Well, regardless, we set the goal of going to a different country every year before our needs run out. We traveled in pairs, so we flew in from different airports and met up later. Me and my friend got to Denmark first, and then with our 7-hour layover, we decided it would be a good idea to look outside.
Where are we going?
I don't know.
你要走一圈吗？那边这边。
Hauling our suitcases around, the noise of the wheels hitting every tile made it clear that we arrived.
哦，那边是什么？那边到底有没有开门？你对一下。
We managed to somehow figure out the metro and get to the 17th century waterfront district.
站过去吧。你站过去吧。我 gazillion things 不站过去。我拿着。 你站过去，然后我再站过去呢。没事没事，只是说我们来过而已。喂。Okay. Whatever. 好尴尬，你走2步。
We somehow managed to get back to the airport before our friends arrived. Very tired this time. I think they got through the EES faster than we did. On arrival, we took a taxi to the Airbnb. It was a pricey taxi. We were also slightly confused because he asked for more than what was on the meter. But again, the price of being a tourist, I guess. We dropped off our suitcase and headed out for dinner to the restaurant right next door. Really good first meal, started off super strong. We went back to our Airbnb, washed up and went to bed. Our first full day. No one woke up early enough for breakfast, but thankfully 1 out of the 4 of us managed to wake us up early enough so we could stop by a bakery and get a bite before we headed off to the Acropolis. Lots of pictures were taken here, okay?
Mandatory part of every tour, see the city from up high.
Also wanted to say that the rocks here were super slippery. It's not too bad of a hike. There's a lot of stopping and looking at views, and it was more zigzag than all the way up.
How many over here? Oh, I lost them again?
Also, there's vending machines for water, so if you didn't bring water, I never bring water, so. And it was only 59 cents USD. Thought that was reasonable. Near the exit or like entrance, it's like the same area, there's shops. We bought a lot of postcards at the gift shop. There was also a small hill that you walk up using the stairs. I don't even know how to describe it, okay? But this is where a sweet Taiwanese lady helped us take our photo. She was accompanied by a couple more Taiwanese aunties and uncles. We talked for a bit. They warned us about pickpockets, and my friend received a live demonstration from the Taiwanese uncle, which I thought was really funny. We wished each other a good rest of the trip and parted ways. There's a tourist stand right outside of the Acropolis, and I got a lot of pins here. And then further down, we stopped at a jewelry stand and we met Christine. She was selling handmade jewelry and we each brought something. Further down, a older man was selling paintings. My friend brought one. He told us he hoped to see us again and winked. We thought it was a bit weird, but also very funny because, I don't know, because only 2 out of the 4 of us saw him wink.
Try that on your next blind date, Misty. Maybe it'll work out.
And then we managed to walk through a path. An artist was selling his craft just outside and we all brought one. We ate lunch a few streets down a very touristy street, and then we ordered a mixed meat platter for 4. Definitely underestimated how much food we actually ordered here. So after lunch we went into the Roman Agora ruins. Mimi.
Disturbing is that? Maybe they did cook the
Hi! You're very cute.
And really like woke up and hold.
Hello, bye bye.
Should we just pretend to be like Belgian next time or something? I think you had to take your passport out. They look. That's why we were talking about getting a EU passport. Like,
Yeah, we thought about this.
how much is this?
But you gotta like either get married, live there for like 10 years or something.
Or have $1 million.
Yep.
Yes. We were literally looking that up while we were waiting in the passport control line.
Yep.
Because we're like, that was way short.
Yep.
Because I was like, this is ridiculous. Can we get an EU passport? It was long, but then the people in our line, they kept yelling like names of flight destinations that weren't gonna make it.
Oof.
Oh.
Lots of photos were taken here. There's a small museum and a even smaller museum shop. We didn't buy anything here.
Oh, this is how the heads are.
The body's downstairs, the head's up.
Oh, is that a water fountain?
Yes, go get water.
The closer exit was closed, so we had to walk all the way back to the entrance and then back in the same direction to the marble class. So we like explored the area a little. So yeah, we like passed the flea market, shopping streets.
Woohoo!
Making progress.
Remember tripping here. Yeah, it was a 35-minute rushed walk. We got there a few minutes earlier than the other group that were running late. It was really cool. This is a third-generation business, and we were able to learn a lot about the craft before attempting.
Wow. That's what we're gonna do. Yeah, our school and my school is just exactly like that. Yeah, this is nice. I want to know who these favorite people are.
Guys, grab the hammer, grab the scissors, start carving on your gun.
I thought to myself here that I might have to consider going to the gym if I want to pick up carving marble. The hammer was very heavy. And then after standing for the marble class, I was very much done with walking. We got closer to our Airbnb and then walked into a random restaurant. I have no idea what the name of this one is, but the pulled pork here was very good, okay? So day 2, walked to the tour bus, and then we hopped on a 3-hour drive to Delphi. The tour guide was trying his best to give us information, but I was really tired. So we got to see like more ruins, pretty cool stuff.
Ooh. I just tripped over a stone.
We were able to break off from the group for a little. The options were climb further up to see the stadium or the water fountain. We opted for the spring. It was like downhill. And then we reunited with the group and proceeded with the museum tour. I sat at every opportunity possible. The tour bus drove us to lunch, and I really liked the cream pasta here. I think around here I also gave up recording everything. We walked back to our Airbnb and we kind of just like walked around until one of the servers pretty much like saw us and like waved us in, which was perfect because we're such a indecisive group. The lamb chops here were very good. Dessert was also really good. They gave us free alcohol, which I did not drink because he said it was 70%, but might have misheard. Pretty much like we went back, discuss what we wanted to do for tomorrow, and then somehow I managed to be like, hey, let's go here, and I managed to pick a hike. Well, I literally went on Google Maps and I was like, closest thing, and I was like, okay, let's go here. Day 3, we all slept in. We went across the street for brunch.
Oh, this is really good, right?
Why do you think it's alright?
And then we pretty much hiked up the mountain, got another view of the Acropolis.
Now we know why the city's so short.
Okay, left or right, guys?
See here. How's the vlog going?
我要乐死了。
是的。You
加
could
油
pack a fan.
下一步
There's a
吧。
heart
There's a heart.
on the tree.
They tried.
They do. You can show the view from here.
I already did. I think they got it from all angles. This vlog is just the Acropolis in all different angles.
That's what you should call the. That's after.
We met a French couple and took photos for each other, and then just like more sightseeing. And then we just saw more cool stuff.
Oh, you looking the wrong way. This doesn't say why he was.
Yeah, there's only like 1个2个3个门. How many people can you fit in there?
Also, you're like basically outside.
After this whole hike, we went back down to look for Christine since we were like near the Acropolis again. And then we finally regrouped. We ordered bingsu. It took forever, took ages. But there was a cat sleeping. I remember inhaling a lot of secondhand smoke. We asked to move seats and they thought we were asking if we wanted to smoke. So after that, we made our way back to their Airbnb. We ate at another restaurant outside of the Airbnb. It was not a busy restaurant. There was only one server who just kept disappearing. I remember liking the shrimp here. The waiter gave himself a 0% tip is what my friend came back and reported after paying with her card. So we thought that was funny. Day 4, woke up, finished packing, checked out. We found a luggage drop-off self-service, stopped at another bakery, headed over to the Acropolis Museum because we didn't go to the museum, we only went to the Acropolis the first day. And then we were waiting in the wrong line for the first part of it. It was for the Acropolis and the line was so long that day. And then magically we found out that it was National Museum Day and tickets were free. So again, shout out to Julian, the best tour guide you can have, because we thought about doing the museum on day 3 instead of 4, but somehow we ended up and decided on 4. And also day 4 was so much hotter than day 3. I just felt like even the weather was perfect for the activities she planned. Crazy.
Mercy.
We had lunch. Food was really good, but I think we had better food for the price.
You're doing your Greece vlog? Yeah. I'll do it in the airport.
Went back, got our bags, called the Uber this time, and we took Ryanair. And from my research, okay, I love Reddit, okay? It seems like they were very strict on the size of hard shell luggages, so I paid the extra 30 euros per flight and then slowly worked on convincing the rest of the group because I kept reading Reddit, and so by the time we got there, we all checked it ahead of time, and I'm super glad we did that because later I talked to a girl who had hers checked at the airport and she paid 100 euros, like one flight. We got to Santorini earlier than the given time. Ah!
This one's looking at me like you pet me. Oh wow, the mountain.
The mountain is so pretty. Guys. 有可能
Oh, too bad. It's about to be my driveway.
And then we put everything down, walked over to Mike's Grill House. They gave us free wine, homemade and handmade, they said. It was really good. I drank this one. It had a sweet aftertaste. Definitely pricier than Athens, but we were on an island, so. Day 5. So today was the day that we went on a boat tour. My friends went swimming. There was 3 different spots where the boat stopped for like 20 minutes for people who wanted to go in. It was quite cold that day and I'm not the biggest fan of bodies of water, so I sat and enjoyed the breeze, the waves, and the music. I enjoyed taking photos of them and not being hosed down with the water prior to re-entering the ship. Regardless, my friends seemed to have enjoyed it.
She's swaying more than the boat is. Will you be alright? Yeah. I was literally sitting there, I was like, I think I'm gonna be sick before the boat because that drive was like, everybody gets sick.
That a rock.
That's her. You inspired the people justice.
Trendsetter for sure. Yep. Yeah.
Look at the water. It's
So clear.
Oh, is that fish down there?
He's flipping the pita.
There's gonna be food as soon as I'm going down.
没有. He's still turning those skewers. He has more pita to go. We ordered Domino's for dinner around 5 p.m. Day 6, we woke up at a agreed time and then headed to the bus stop. Took some figuring out, but we managed. 弟弟，我饿了。
Oh yeah, we're doing our best. This street has stuff.
哇，风真的吹呀吹呀！我搬到坑啊，我未使睇呢啲啊。
I don't know about that.
Ate at a restaurant. The shrimp here was also very good, but a little bit pricey.
We can, yeah. It's really cool.
风吹呀吹呀。We walked around. Look, the souvenirs here were slightly more expensive and they weren't as like special as the ones we found in Athens. There wasn't like as much like handmade stuff. And then my memory of this day was literally non-stop walking. So my friend told me it was an easy hike because she read it off a blog, right? And I was literally like, give me the person who wrote this blog because I need to send them the email, okay? Like it was not a easy hike. I burned 565 calories this day, okay? And just about 22,000 steps. My phone said I climbed 96 flights of stairs. Regardless, it was more like a 5-hour walk through different types of terrains. The views were amazing, but the wind stopped blowing when we needed it the most. It was definitely a hike. And there was parts where it's like you were walking on loose rock. That was pretty scary. I want to get over there. We started from We need a photo of this, 等一下. We had an early dinner in Greece terms. Pretty much the first restaurant that I saw, and I was like, we're going there.
I sent 170.
Oh, I got like 50 something. Oh, that's not my check.
Mine has a 100 photo limit for it. Well, they're in 2 batches. I think I took the least photos today, so let me tell you. Oh, I see me.
We watched the sunset here. There were so many tourists, also so many Chinese tourists. We split up into pairs and had some difficulties finding each other. There's so many taxi drivers waving people down asking if they needed a ride. One approached me and my friend asking if we needed one. We declined. But he also asked if I was Japanese. I thought it was funny because this was like the second time on the trip, and like statistically, chances would have been higher if they tried Chinese, just saying. We talked to a guy from San Diego for a little bit at the bus stop. Yeah, he was on a solo trip through all the islands. Near the bus stop, he seemed like the store owner or someone. I don't know. He seemed like he lived there, okay? He reassured us that the bus was coming because I think it was a little late. He joked that like he was literally like, I can see it, and like as we continued to look into the dark. Sometime later, the bus actually comes into view, and then he tells us like wave at it, which I did a little too much because he told me like, hey, like that's enough, and laughs. Back to Julian being the best tour guide. If we were to have waited at another bus stop, we would have not had a seat. Somehow the bus that we needed to go back to the Airbnb like waited for the bus that we were on. And day 7 we woke up and looked for food. Brought some bakery items and ate it outside of the bakery. After that we took the bus again. This was checkout day, so Kate was nice enough to let us leave our bags at the Airbnb, and then we just like figured out what to do for the day. Our flight back to Athens was not until 11 at night. We checked out the beach and had lunch. I enjoyed the clam pasta the most, stayed as long as we could, and then we moved to a table on side of the bakery. This day was just like killing time, okay? So we found another smoothie shop further down. It was a watermelon strawberry mango drink. It didn't taste as good as it sounded, but it was still a decent smoothie. We walked back to the bus stop. Bus was late. Ate at the restaurant right next to Mike. I really like this chicken soup here. We went back to the supermarket and brought some bread and granola bars in preparation for our layover. We checked in at the airport, got through security quickly. At the gate, a guy behind me asked like, hey, are you Chinese? And Mandarin. So he asked like, 你是中国人吗? I think it was because I was talking to my friend in Mandarin. I said yes without thinking, but then I corrected myself and I was like, no, I'm American. Anyways, but yeah. I did reply in Mandarin, and then he was just like, hey, can you watch my bag? I thought this interaction was funny. Yeah, anyways, like he later came back and we chit-chatted for a little bit. I believe he was flying back to France. And then we finally arrived in Athens around 12:20 a.m. It was impossible to sleep. We couldn't get through the gates because there was like nothing was open, and we had to check our bags. And so we hunted for chargers, okay? This was literally the lowest part of the trip. Getting back was a blur. I'm a little sunburnt. Nope. Yes. As a memory that I'm sitting right next to a outlet, and we're gonna be here for 7 hours.
Hold on, less than 7 now. What time is it?
2 in the morning.
Don't exaggerate. Yeah, and we leave at 7:45.
Great, amazing.
This means there's only like 3 more hours of sitting. And we can go in. Yeah, tell that to the memory.
That was my trip to Greece in detail. Props to my friends for keeping tabs the entire time. I reference their notes while writing this log. Again, for every place I've been, it's always about the people you meet on the way. You remember food, you remember culture, and you always remember people. And once again, it has reminded me why I care so much for people. It's because strangers welcome you with open arms, once and over again. I wished everyone had the ability to travel, to meet people, to see the good media doesn't report on. But every time I travel, I'm reminded at the same time, it's a privilege to travel, just as it is to be educated. Here is the list of expenses. I spent less this time than Japan. Well, thanks for listening to me rant for so long. I sat on this for so long because it's just so long. The script is like 7 pages long. I don't know if I'm gonna edit in the whole script, we'll see. I hope the world is treating you well, and I can promise at least one vlog each year. That's about it. Everything else, vibes, if I even post. Just checking in. Hope everybody is doing great. 就这样吧。I will talk to you when I talk to you. Bye bye.